Why ancient rulers buried themselves with their servants. Did these rulers really believe they could rule from beyond the grave? Imagine being a servant in a grand palace, waiting hand and foot on a powerful king or queen. But then, one day, the unthinkable happens: your ruler dies. And suddenly, you're told you're going to the grave with them. Not just to mourn, but to be buried alive. From ancient Egypt to China and even parts of Africa, it was common for rulers to be buried alongside their servants, soldiers, and sometimes even their wives. They believed they could take their power, wealth, and status into the afterlife. Let's take ancient China. For example, the famous Emperor Qin Shi Huang, who built the Great Wall and the Terracotta Army, was buried with thousands of clay soldiers. But in some lesser-known cases, rulers were buried with real people. Entire groups of servants were sometimes sacrificed so the ruler could continue to be served in the afterlife. In Egypt, the pharaohs had a slightly different approach. They believed that their servants, known as ashadas, could be replaced by statues in the tombs. These statues were thought to magically come to life and work for the pharaoh in the afterlife. But not all rulers were so kind. Some early dynasties in Egypt did bury real people, including servants and family members, alongside the pharaoh. It wasn't just Asia and Africa either. In Mesopotamia, some kings were buried with their entire household, servants, guards, even entertainers. The belief was simple: if you served in life, you would serve in death. And rulers wanted to make sure they had everything they might need in the next world. But let's pause for a second. Think about it. These rulers thought they could take their entire court with them beyond death. That's a powerful and terrifying idea. It shows how much they believed in the afterlife, so much so that they were willing to take living people with them. It also reveals the dark side of power, that to keep control in the next life, some rulers didn't hesitate to sacrifice their own people. What's perhaps the most shocking is how normal this seemed at the time. It wasn't seen as cruel or strange, it was just the way things were done. For the servants, it was part of their duty. For the rulers, it was an insurance policy for their eternal rule. Of course, not all cultures did this. Over time, many civilizations moved away from such brutal practices, replacing real people with symbols like statues, or simply stopping the custom altogether. But the fact that it happened at all across different cultures, at different times, tells us just how deep the fear of death and the desire for power can go. If you like this dose of bizarre facts, hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment telling me the strangest thing you've ever learned in history. Who knows, it might end up in the next episode.